Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Death is not a distant event. It is the most certain part of our existence. Yet most of us live as if tomorrow is guaranteed. In reality, Allah sends us signs to remind us that our time in this world is limited. Mufti Menk often emphasizes that these signs are not meant to create fear, but to awaken our hearts, inspire repentance, and prepare us for the meeting with Allah. Today, we'll explore two powerful signs that you may be nearing the end of your journey in this dunya. If you or someone you love has noticed these changes, understand that they are not random. They are gentle calls from your Creator, inviting you to return to Him in a state of purity and peace. So listen closely, reflect deeply, and take these reminders to heart before the time comes when reflection is no longer possible. 1. Weakening of the body. The human body is a trust, amanah from Allah, designed to serve us in our journey through life. As long as we are young, healthy, and full of energy, we often take this gift for granted. But one of the signs that a person may be nearing death is a noticeable and continuous weakening of the body. This isn't the temporary fatigue that comes after a long day of work, nor the weakness after a short illness. It is a gradual, persistent decline in strength that does not fully recover even with rest. For some, it appears in the form of reduced stamina, where tasks once done with ease become exhausting. For others, it manifests as fragility. Bones feel weaker, movements become slower, and balance is easily lost. In Islamic understanding, such physical decline is not merely a biological process. It is a reminder from Allah that the body is returning to the dust from which it came. The Quran itself describes the stages of life, from the vigor of youth to the frailty of old age. It is Allah who created you in weakness, then gave you strength after weakness, then brought weakness after strength and grey hair. Surah Ar-Rum 30-54. This gradual return to weakness is a sign of the soul's preparation for its final journey. One clear aspect of this bodily weakening is the loss of independence. A person who was once self-reliant may need help with basic tasks, getting dressed, eating, walking short distances, or even using the bathroom. This dependency is humbling and often awakens the heart to the reality that worldly power is temporary. For the believer, this stage is an opportunity to increase remembrance of Allah, to detach from the illusion of self-sufficiency, and to prepare for the meeting with the Creator. The Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, taught us to value our health before illness, saying in a hadith, "Take advantage of 5 before 5, your youth before your old age, your health before your illness." Al-Hakim. When the body begins to weaken, it is often too late to enjoy the same capacity for worship as before. A person may wish they could stand in Qiyam al-Layl, night prayer, for hours, but their knees no longer allow it. They may long to fast extra days, but their health cannot bear the strain. Recognizing this change early can inspire one to maximize acts of worship while strength remains. Another dimension of physical weakness as a sign of nearing death is the change in one's appearance. Weight loss, pale or wrinkled skin, sunken eyes, and slowed speech can become noticeable. Such changes are not only physical, but also spiritual reminders to those around the person. Family members who see these signs may be prompted to spend more time with the individual, to offer care, and to remind them of Allah's mercy and the importance of istighfar, seeking forgiveness. In some cases, this decline comes gradually over decades. In others, it can happen suddenly due to illness or injury. Regardless of speed, the key lesson is the same. The body is signaling that it is closer to returning to its original state, dust. This stage should encourage believers not to be distracted by false hopes of worldly permanence, but instead to use their remaining days in sincere repentance, charity, and remembrance. Finally, the weakening of the body serves as a subtle form of divine mercy. Allah, in His wisdom, often allows the body to slow down before death, so that the soul can detach from the physical world gradually. This can make the final moments less abrupt and give the person and their loved ones time to prepare emotionally and spiritually. It is not a curse, but a sign to be embraced with patience and gratitude, trusting that Allah's plan is perfect. 2. Detachment from the dunya. The second sign that a person may be nearing death is a deep and natural detachment from the dunya, the worldly life. This is not simply losing interest in a specific hobby or being too tired to attend social gatherings. It is a profound shift in the heart's focus, where the glitter and attractions of this world lose their power over the individual. For someone who spent years chasing wealth, status, or pleasures, this change can be sudden and surprising. The same things that once brought excitement, business profits, possessions, entertainment, may now seem meaningless. This detachment is not caused by depression or despair. Rather, it is often a sign that Allah is preparing the heart for its final journey. The Quran repeatedly warns against becoming overly attached to worldly life. Know that the life of this world is only amusement and diversion and adornment and boasting to one another and competition in increase of wealth and children. Surah Al-Hadid 57-20. When nearing death, the believer begins to see this verse with fresh clarity. The pursuits of the dunya appear like shadows, real enough to notice, but insubstantial compared to the eternal reality of the hereafter. One aspect of this detachment is the growing desire for simplicity. Expensive clothes, luxurious homes, or elaborate meals no longer bring the same satisfaction. Instead, the person may find joy in modest living, in spending time with loved ones, and in acts of worship. This change can confuse family members who do not understand the inner transformation, but for the believer, it is a sign of spiritual maturity. The heart begins to crave not the temporary beauty of creation, but the eternal beauty of the Creator. Another indicator of detachment is the shifting of conversations and thoughts toward the afterlife. A person may begin speaking more about Jannah, paradise, about meeting loved ones who have passed, or about the mercy of Allah. They may want to listen to Quran recitation more often, spend longer in prayer, and engage in acts of charity without expecting recognition. Their mind and heart seem to be elsewhere, not out of distraction, but out of longing for the eternal home. Detachment from dunya also manifests as reduced fear of losing material things, where once the thought of financial loss or status decline was frightening, it now feels insignificant. The believer understands that wealth and possessions are temporary trusts, not permanent entitlements. This mindset brings peace because the heart no longer clings to what is fleeting. The Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said, "Be in this world as if you were a stranger or a traveler." Bukhari. Nearing the end of life, this hadith becomes a living reality for the believer. One foot is already on the path home. Interestingly, this detachment is often accompanied by an increase in generosity. A person may feel compelled to give more in sadaqah, charity, to support causes that will continue to benefit others after they are gone, and to clear debts or reconcile with those they have wronged. They may also feel less interested in acquiring new possessions, preferring instead to distribute what they have. This generosity is a reflection of the Prophet's sallallahu alaihi wasallam example, and a sign of readiness to meet Allah with a clean heart. Detachment from dunya does not mean neglecting responsibilities. A believer nearing death may still fulfill their obligations to family and community. However, the emotional investment in worldly outcomes diminishes. Success and failure, profit and loss, these become secondary to the state of one's heart and the hope of Allah's pleasure. This shift is a mercy because it allows the person to focus on what truly matters in their final days: faith, repentance, and good deeds. One of the most profound blessings of detachment is the sense of inner peace it brings. Without the constant pull of worldly ambitions, the heart becomes lighter and more content. Daily irritations lose their power, and forgiveness becomes easier. This tranquility is a sign that the soul is aligning itself with the eternal reality, letting go of the transient world in preparation for the everlasting one. Finally, detachment from dunya is often a sign that Allah is guiding His servant toward a husn khatimah, a good ending. By loosening the grip of worldly desires, Allah allows the believer to turn fully toward Him, free from distractions. This is not something one can force upon themselves at will. It is a gift from Allah, a gentle preparation for the moment when the veil between this world and the next will be lifted. Dear brothers and sisters, life is short, and every breath is a step closer to our meeting with Allah. These signs are not to frighten you, but to remind you to prepare for that beautiful moment with a heart full of faith. If you found this reminder beneficial, please like, share, and subscribe to Pious Deen for more inspiring Islamic content. Let's fill the comments with this dua. Ya Allah, grant me a good ending and make my last words La ilaha illallah. Type it below so it becomes a sadaqah jariyah for you. May Allah grant us all husn al-khatimah. Ameen.